Hello everyone. I'm Chandrika. I am basically from Mumbai. I'm going to share the travel experience along with the requirements that is needed for a student to come to South Korea. Because when I started, I was also clueless. Then joining this Telegram groups has helped me a lot. So I thought that I should be grateful and I should create my own video to enlighten people like me who are still yet to come but have many doubts in their head. So proceeding ahead, I'm going to cover some parts of visa application and then how I booked my tickets, about the currency exchange and then booking the tickets, what all things to carry and luggage. I mean, that was a big thing for me. And then the flying day and the travel experiences. So stay tuned. I'll share everything in parts with you so that when you come prepared for it. So starting with visa application. So I got my certificate of admission from the university after I paid off my admission fees, which was really late. Then I talked to the embassy and then they said that I can submit the soft copies, and with the soft copies I can apply for the visa. So it was issued to me after 15 working days. In all, you can say it was 20 days because I applied in Embassy of Mumbai. But I heard from other people that if you apply somewhere else, it will take 15 days, including like non-working days as well. So with me, it was the case that it was 15 working days because I applied through that agent. And the agent was Sagai, which was shared in the Telegram group. I'll give you his contact on this video so that you don't hinder around, and he was the best because he charged me really less. I went through other agent also and it was little higher compared to what Sagai proposed. So I went with him. And this embassy stick to his timeline and it was issued and there were no problems with it. You just need to show the bank account, which is minimum, and if something is getting short of, Sagai would come ahead and help you. I would recommend going through the agent because I form filling everything in Korean, everything was sorted by him. But there are many individuals in the group that went ahead and did the application on their own. But I didn't have that so much of guts to do it on my own because I didn't want to take that burden on me. But anyways, it depends on your choice whether you want to go ahead with yourself or trust someone else to do your work. So this was about visa application. Coming back to the topic, after your visa is being issued by the embassy, you can go ahead and book your tickets. Well, you can book your tickets in advance also, but due to this corona, many flights are getting cancelled. So to be very, very sure that your money is not getting stuck at the last moment, it's better and advisable that you book your tickets only when the visa is issued to you, so that you don't get your money stuck somewhere else because you can use it in some helpful places. So my advice would be that once your visa is issued, then only go ahead and book it. Now the question comes, from where will you book it? Because there are many options and which routes are open is the big question. So I'll answer this in the next part. So booking tickets was a big task for me. So there were many routes which were shared that Qatar is open, Doha is open, Bangkok is open, Singapore is open, Malaysia is open, then Dubai was open. So I had beforehand booked my ticket 3 months ago via Kuala Lumpur, and at the very last moment I found that through the group that none of the airlines are working except the Dubai transit, and I had to emergency kind of a situation arise and I had to forcefully book my tickets before 3 days. So I went ahead, then looked for the better options which is giving me cheap and faster travel experience. So I went ahead with Emirates with their assurity of refunding and rescheduling fees. So it was really good experience because Emirates sticks to whatever they say. So I went ahead with the Emirates. And they give you 10 kgs extra compared to what they are giving to others. So as a student, it was an added advantage for me. So I added, but the thing is, you need to be really careful while booking the tickets on your own, and it also depends whether you're booking the tickets from your own or from the agent. In my case, I booked it from my own because I wanted to see that student discount is getting applied or not. So I came from Mumbai. I took the Dubai route, and from Mumbai to Dubai, the discount got applied, but the price was not reduced, but I got 10 kgs extra to it. In case of Dubai to Seoul, the discount got applied, I got money reduction also, and also the 10 kgs extra. So this made my luggage 40 kgs. So but you know, Mumbai to Dubai, the luggage allowance was 35, so which was 5 kgs short. What I did in this case is I purchased extra 5 kgs through online, which was charging me 2000. So if you want to increase your luggage, you can do that ahead of time, because while you're at the airport you have to pay really high, and when you do it online they are giving you some 60% discount, which is really worth saving the money. So this is one tip that you can use, using the student discount and buying the extra luggage so that you can save on money. Next, I'll be talking about what all things do you need to carry in Korea. So once your ticket is booked and your flying date is confirmed, the next step is to go for foreign exchange. Now the question would be like, how much you have to do for the exchange? Should I carry a card or not? So believe me, do the both things. I did what? I carried cash and I carried Neo Global card, which is just like a Forex card. The best thing about this card is that they do the currency exchange on the standard current day. So they don't charge you any extra. They just have one annual fee which is charged once in a year, which is 236. And getting the card from them is a big issue, because I suggested this to many other group members also, but they weren't able to get it. But I was from Mumbai, so I can share a contact of a person in the link below the description, so that you can get in touch with him and issue the card beforehand for the Forex, and it will be helpful. I carried 25,000. I mean, I exchanged 25,000 to get 3,60,000 won, which was at the rate of 0.069. So I went through the travel agent and I didn't got a bill for it, because it was a really small amount. If you want a bill for it, believe me, it's not useful. So don't go for the bill, because if you get the bill, the exchange rate would be high. And exchanging your money to US dollars and then to won is really a hectic process. And at the airport, the exchange rate would be too high. So get it beforehand only and convert it to won. In Mumbai, if you need some help, connect with me. I can help you with the travel agents. And also I'm mentioning the contact of the travel agent below in the link. Okay. Also, I'll be adding the link for the things to carry in Korea, so that while you're coming to Korea, you can check that link and prepare a list of things that you're going to carry, and you don't miss out on some important things. Check that out. I missed on the COVID test report, which is required prior to your travel. So I came from Navi Mumbai, which is another extended part of Mumbai. So anyone coming from Navi Mumbai can go to the direct lab. I mean, from other parts also you can do. What I did was that, one tip over here, you can directly go to the labs where the testing is done, instead of going it to some clinics or somewhere where they collect your blood and then give you the report after 24 hours. So I went to the lab directly where the testing is done. So the time of giving me report was reduced, and I gave my sample at 12 and got my report at 6, so which reduced the time of the test. And I went to the ICMR approved labs directly at the center. So you have to be pretty smart to find out where is the lab located. So it's a mess. And in Mumbai, I mean in Navi Mumbai, I can tell you few. There was one at Turbe, which is Preventine Life Care, and the another one was at Vashi, which is UDC Satellite, which gave me reports within 3 to 6 hours. So it saves on your time, and you can display the same reports at the airport. So this is really helpful. So you can try out for your cities, which is near, and which lab does this. If you go through any clinics, you're going to take 24 hours of time. You need to advise them to mention your passport number and date of birth on the report. Even though they will say that they don't have a format, you can use this step. You can say that ahead of your name, you can add this column of passport number, then give a dash and mention the passport number. Same way, you can mention the extra details of DOB, then dash, mention your DOB in the name column itself. You can give this tip to them if they say that they don't have format to add information, which I did on my own. Take care. And I carried not milk powder. No, I carried butter, and I carried seeds, like you can say मैंने chana carry किया था, and I also carried some chironji, which is a seed. So I declared them at the airport. There was no issue with that, but it is advisable that you declare everything that you're carrying. So it's better that you don't carry knives and don't carry raw vegetables or fruits, because you can buy it here during your quarantine from the hotel where you're staying. so it's better not to carry, so that you can travel smooth and the hassle-free journey can be done. Okay. Guys, here I am at the Mumbai airport. It was a little difficult for me because I was carrying extra luggage, so I had to pay 15,000 extra for 7 kgs. But still, immigration and all is cleared. I'm waiting for the Dubai flight right now, which is scheduled on time, and I'll give you update. You don't have to carry knives, and I purchased on student discount, so I got some extra baggage also. So I'll keep you updating, so that whenever anyone comes through this route during COVID can find some help. I'm waiting for the boarding to happen, which is going to happen soon, and I will keep you updating. Till then, keep waiting. ओके हाय गाइस, आई हैव रीच दुबई और मुझे यहाँ पर 13-14 घंटे हो चुके हैं ले ओवर करके, एंड आई एम सुपर सुपर टायर्ड एंड एग्जॉस्टेड. तो यहाँ पर नाउ एवरीथिंग इज़ फाइन. वी वर नॉट आस्क फॉर एनी ट्रांजिट वीज़ा जो हमें ग्रुप पे देखने मिला था, एंड हाँ, वी डिडंट गॉट एनी फ्री फूड फ्रॉम एमिरेट्स एज वेल, दो वी वर ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम एमिरेट्स प्लस एमिरेट्स, सो वी वर नॉट ऑफर्ड एनी फ्री फूड. और यहाँ पर आई मीन इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी इशू इनिशियली था, बट अगेन देन वी गॉट कनेक्टेड, एंड यू वुड फेस डिफ़िकल्टीज़ इन स्लीपिंग ओवर हियर, बिकॉज यहाँ पर जो बेंचेस है दैट इज़ किसी के लिए कंफर्टेबल होगा, किसी के लिए नहीं होगा. एंड देन वी आर वेटिंग टू बोर्ड द सोल का फ्लाइट. सो वंस वी बोर्ड एंड रीच सोल, गिव यू फर्दर अपडेट्स. So let me talk about the travel day. I traveled on 8th of Feb from Mumbai to Dubai, and then Dubai to Seoul. So my flight was at 10:25. I reached at the airport at 7:25. I did my check-in and my baggage was extra. I had to pay for the extra luggage. So it's a hectic day. And then when I boarded, so the flight was really smooth. They gave me a Hindu meal. You can also use this tip. You can beforehand book your meals, because it is as per the Emirates gives you that option that you can book your meals beforehand, what kind of a meal you would like to eat during the travel. So I chose Hindu meal, which is except the beef and pork, so they will give you that. I chose the Hindu meal at the second airline also, which is Emirates, from Dubai to Seoul. In that case, they'll provide you only chicken, which is really good. They give you 2 meals, which is lunch and one breakfast, enough for your survival. One more tip I would like to give you: if you're traveling from Emirates to Emirates, no transit visa is required, because I was not asked for the transit visa either at the Mumbai airport or at the Dubai airport. Nobody is cared about it. But there has been instances where there were exceptions, where people were stopped. So if you want to be doubly sure and money doesn't matter to you, go ahead, get your transit visa. But in my case, I was told that I was running out of time, so I didn't apply it, and luckily I was saved. So if you talk about being cautious, yeah, it's good that you should get it. If you're caught, it would be a problem. So it's better that you get the transit visa. In my case, if you ask me my advice, I would say that go better, get the transit visa. Also carry extra food while you're waiting for the layover, because I was tight on budget because my money got stuck, because I chose some other route through Malaysia. So that was a big problem for me. So I was carrying enough food for myself from home, so I survived on it. And Dubai airport has good accommodation facilities. That means you can relax on the chairs, which is really made ergonomically correct, so that you can sleep over there. And believe me, if your friends are around, you will feel that how this time got over. But for me, it was like partly correct, because I met some of the friends from the Delhi flight. They were coming, so it was 9 hours journey after I met them. And before ka 9 hours was really tiring for me. You need to be little conversative. if you don't want to be bored during the layover. Next, I am going to talk about reaching Seoul and the guidelines for it. After reaching Seoul, big important tips would be that once you land at Seoul, the very first thing that you're going to do is to cool down your ears. How are you going to do that? Imagine this is your boarding pass. Just flap it over, fan it over, so that your ears become really colder than your body. Because at Seoul, they are going to measure the temperature of your ears, not your forehead, not your hand, not anywhere. So I got trapped in this because my friend's temperature was less than 37.5 and they were left, and my temperature was 37.7, and they are measuring the ear's temperature because I was wearing headphones, and while the journey was on, and I you know, like, this is some connected part to your body, so it is much more hotter than other parts. So to be very cautious, I saw a girl doing this at the airport, and if your temperature is above 37.5, you are taken to a different place. I'll explain you that in a while. But you know, I saw a girl where she was fanning her ears and the temperature was down instantly. I mean, it took 5 minutes and the temperature went down. So this is my tip, my observation that I made at the airport. So I don't want you, any one of you, to get stuck at the airport after the 15 hours of layover at Dubai. So this is a beforehand tip that you should do, that fan off your ears so that the temperature inside your ears goes down, because you cannot use a normal thermometer at your ear to check the temperature. So it is advisable that fan off your ears while you're standing at the airport. Okay, I'm going to share how was my quarantine stay at the airport once I was detected above 37.5. Okay, I forgot to mention one thing, that I traveled through Emirates, which had two different PNRs. So while you're checking for your flights from Mumbai, I asked the Emirate people over the counter that tag my baggage through check-in, so that you don't have to collect the baggage at Dubai transit, and it was done. It was really good. I mean, Emirates is really good, though it is little more expensive, but people there are really good. And while we were traveling, we were given some hygiene kits like this. So this contains a mask, a glove, and hand sanitizer, and some wipes that you can use. And they give you this while you're traveling from a source destination like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, anywhere, to Dubai. They'll give you this. And the next thing that they gave me from Dubai to Seoul journey was this, which I loved it. They give you this in green and this orange package. So I got it in orange. It had this eye mask which you can wear and sleep for the night, and it has some orange socks. They give you toothbrush and a toothpaste within it. So it's really nice journey with Emirates. I really loved it. Hope you enjoyed too. All the best. So my friends went away with a temperature of 36.7 or something, but if you're above 37.5, they'll stop you. They'll ask you many details. There would be a short interview which would be done. They would be asking you from where are you. There would be several questions like, are you pregnant? Are you carrying something? Are you taking medicines? Do you have signs of cold, cough, everything? I was having cough, literally I was having cough, but I didn't reveal that because they, you know, unnecessarily will tag it to corona, which I didn't want to happen. So initially I was given a tag which had the Incheon airport sign on it. I mean, a name plate kind of a thing. So it was distinguishing that you are different from others because your temperatures was high. My passport was taken. It was having a sticker on it. I'll show you. The passport was having the sticker on it which says that this is the sticker. They have this label where they have mentioned some number on it. So this number is something related to them. And after this number is given, your interview would be taken, and you would be asked several questions. Then you would be asked to step aside and sit somewhere else. You can use the washroom, which is specially for the symptomatic patients. I used some specialized washroom, which was really good. And then while you're waiting, your test would be done at the airport. When they'll take you from the lift to the downstairs, and in the open they'll get your swabs, nasal swab and the oral swab as well, esophageal swab. So once the swab is taken, they'll ask you their food choices, because if you're not eating both beef or pork, they'll ask you what will you serve. I said chicken, but I was served veg when they took me away for some center for spending 7 hours. So it was a good journey, because in India it doesn't happen that food preference comes at the later part, but here they asked me at the very first time when I was screened at the interview that what are my food choices. This is a good thing. They are taking care of your food while you're waiting. So the second thing what happened was that I was given a form which had 3 sheets, and everything was written in Korean and translated in English, but there was many confusion that what you have to write, because they were writing like the date of sojourn and the place of sojourn. So I was not aware of this word. So I asked the officers over there who were wearing the PPE kits, and believe me, Koreans are really helpful. So they're going to help you with anything. They'll struggle a lot with their English, but yeah, they'll try their best to help you out. So the purpose of sojourn would be D2, because I am a student, so I'm traveling on D2 visa, and the place of sojourn is not to be written, and they'll help you in any other problems if you face. So they'll help you to write down the quarantine address and everything. So you have to fill this up, and then they would ask you to download an app which is self quarantine app, which is designed by Korean government, and they'll help you to install it. And there would be a police officer over there who would be guided as your guidance officer, and they'll help you out, and they'll contact the hotel owner where you're staying. They'll confirm whether you're coming on which day, and everything would be confirmed. And once everyone has completed their interviews, you'll be taken to some other place which is 5 minutes, no, not 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from the airport. Through the bus, you all would be carried over there. Don't worry about your luggage. They coordinate really well with your airlines, be it Emirates or something else. They'll get your luggage, they'll keep it safely. Once you're traveling to some other place from the airport, they'll get your luggage, and you can carry them with you to that center. And there, once I reached, there were like I think 15-20 people, but I was the only one from India. There are many different nationalities people which were who were having high temperature, so everyone was given a separate cubicle. I'll show you how that cubicle looks like. But believe me, even though it was 8 hours, I know it was really tiring after having such a hectic day. It was really exhaustive, but the staff is really cooperative and supportive, so I didn't felt anything. And they give you free water over there, and food also. The food arrived within like 5-10 minutes after we got ourselves the same cubicle. Like different cubicles are there for each individual. They give you a chair, and you can place the luggage over there, and you can relax for 6-7 hours. And there was one guy who was sleeping also, on the floor. I really didn't like it, and the temperature is really cold outside, so better make sure that you don't catch cold while you're traveling. So it's good that you should be warm enough once you're out of the airport. So being in this facility had all the features. That means I was not feeling cold, and everything was good. The washrooms were really good and clean. And in my case, the reports arrived really late. So it was said that I was taken to this facility at 6 or 7 p.m. And then since then, I had my dinner. They gave me some kimchi, not kimchi, bibimbap, which was really veg. And I hated the seaweed part. So I'll show you that picture as well. And after taking over there, the reports I'm going to discuss it with you. So it is said that, or it is observed, that reports come usually by 1 or 2 a.m. So once the results are sent to your mail ID, The officer would come up to you and they'll ask you to show the mail, and once it is negative, you'll be again accompanied to the airport terminal. From there you can get your cab or you can go by bus. So in my case, I was really exhausted, so I went back to the airport, got myself a cab, which was 85,000 won, to Seoul, where I'm staying at the Noble Residence. So this is really a very small place, and I'll share more details about it. And this 85,000, I came at morning 4:30, and I was carrying luggage with me, which was above 60 kgs. So me carrying alone the luggage was really a big thing, because you need to carry it up the building where you're staying. So at night 4, it was really difficult for me to alone carry it. So luckily I had a friend from the Telegram group who was staying in the same residence. So she came out of the help, and we bought my stuffs up, and then we went off to sleep. I'll tell you more about the Noble Residence now. So I'm at Noble Residence right now. You can see my room. So this is the room that they have given me. This is the washroom, and these are the storage cabinets that they have given. And there's a small fridge over here, which has, and this is the door from where you'll enter. This is the cupboard where you can store your stuffs. There are 4 drawers, but I have a big luggage with me, so I cannot open it. This is the bed that they have given, and there's a cloth sukhane wala stand over here. There's AC, and there's this window. You need to ventilate yourself once a while. And this is the washroom. They have shower, and the toilet is really clean, so it's good. You can use it, and the price is really good. They are charging 2,50,000 won for 15 days, and moreover, they give you really good food. I mean, I enjoyed the milk and the cornflakes, and they cook rice also for you. If you're okay with beef and pork, they have ramen where you can eat that, and if you don't want to, carry your stuffs. That's my advice. I have friends over here who have bought stuffs, and they really cook in the kitchen. They provide you with soya bean oil, apple cider vinegar, salt, sugar is there. So don't carry the stuffs. I was not told this, so I carried it, so which adds on to your luggage as well. So these things you don't need to carry. They have pans, they have utensils for using. So except milk and everything else, they provide you bread also. So it's good. I think I can survive. And the rice over here is little sticky, and the amount of rice that we eat in India is totally different than what you would be eating here, because their rice is little healthy and you would need a small quantity to fill up your stomach. So it's good. And this is my second day. Let's see how it goes. I'll share my reviews after I complete the quarantine stay and how Seoul treating me. But believe me, till now the Koreans have treated really well, and they go out of their way to help you out, you know, even from the strangest person at the airport or anywhere, you know, at the quarantine facility also. I mean, you'll feel really good being in South Korea. Okay, take care and give this video a like and share it with the people you need. I'm not doing it for any purposes, but I don't want any student to suffer like me because of the temperature thing. Also, I mean, this is just good to know information, so share it with anyone whom you think you should share with. Okay, bye, take care, and a happy and safe journey. Bye.